Hello and welcome to another edition of After the Whistle. It's Monday, November 13th, and I'm Kellen Voss.
And I'm Paul McPherson. For tonight, we have highlights from another big weekend at Grand Valley to share with you.
We'll also be joined by a key member of GVSU game day operations and more.
On Sunday, GVSU Soccer continued its quest to get to a fifth straight national championship game. Hosting the Ohio Dominican Panthers in the Midwest Regional Semifinal, the Lakers were able to clinch their spot in the regional final with a 4-0 victory. 2 goals from Gabby Mancotti, as well as goals from Ava Cook and Seth Steinwasher, were enough to push the Lakers through as goalkeeper Jen Steinway posted another shutout. After the game, Grand Valley head coach Jeff Hosler summed up the team's performance.
We played a fairly complete game today in terms of our possession and certainly defensively, throughout 90 minutes. But as we go on to next week and play a really talented Quincy team, we're going to have to be a lot sharper even still and play a little bit faster. And through the conference tournament, I don't think we played 90 minutes consistently. And so to see that come together today was an important step for us. But then we have to go back and replicate that next week. And for us, we're going to enjoy it today. Tomorrow's a traditional off day, but Tuesday we're right back to work, and we got a lot of work to do to get ready for one of the best teams in the country.
I think it's just taking it one day at a time. We found out who we're playing, so Quincy. I think just getting prepped for that, figuring out what they do well, what they don't, and figuring out the tactics in order to counter that. This group is just so different. This year it's just everyone through all the classes gets along so well. It's just so much fun to play with everyone. So we're just a big family, so we want to have another day together. So we worked really hard in this game, and we get to have another week, so we're super excited.
The Lakers will now take on Quincy University in Warrensboro, Missouri on Sunday to see who will travel to Kansas City with a spot in the Final Four. Grand Valley has already played Quincy this season, earning a win on the road in October.
The Grand Valley D2 men's hockey team played host to the Toledo Rockets on Saturday. Toledo got off to a hot start, and thanks to goals from Cody Estrell and Kyle Tafelski, the Rockets came out of the first period with a 2-1 lead. The Lakers would then use a 4-goal second period to claim the lead and never looked back, and came away with a 7-5 victory. Tommy Carey had a hat trick on the night for the Lakers with a chippy game that saw the two teams combine for 65 penalty minutes. Next weekend, the Lakers have 2 games as they host Marion University at the George.
Grand Valley football closed out their season with a win on Saturday, crushing the Tiffin Dragons by a score of 45-7. Unfortunately, the selection committee left GVSU out of the playoffs, marking the end of another season at Lovers Stadium. Reagan Blissett has had a pretty good view of the team all season, as she has been emceeing home games. If you've seen the GVSU football Instagram during games, you might have seen Reagan there too. Earlier today, she sat down with After the Whistle to talk about her experiences throughout the season.
Hi, I'm here with Reagan Blissett. Reagan is the, now former football MC for the football games here at GV. How do you reflect on your past job there?
So this is the first year at Grand Valley that they've done something with like an MC, and so I was super honored to be a part of that. It was exciting. I was a cheerleader beforehand, so I was always there for the first 3 years, and my senior year being able to be on the sideline still as an MC, especially in front of 14 to 16,000 people. That was, it's pretty nerve-wracking. So that was super fun, and I'm just so glad I got the opportunity that GVSULakers.com and Grand Valley allowed me to do something like this.
Now, for those at home wondering, what exactly does your job entail as the MC of GV football games?
So basically, I'm kind of the promotions person. Whenever there's a promotion or a game day sponsor, I'm kind of just talking on the video board and making sure people are getting prizes. So it's super fun, and it's actually it's kind of tricky sometimes because the mic, I talk in the mic and I'll hear the feedback, and so it's a lot of focus. It's not as easy as it looks.
No, yeah, absolutely.
There's some focus that goes into it, but especially being in front of so many people. I remember my first game, I was so nervous. I actually got sick the day of because I was just so nervous, but it was exciting, and so I was so glad to be part of the football team, and especially with a football team as good as ours. It's so great just being on the sidelines.
Absolutely. And now as the days get colder, you're transitioning from football to basketball now. Are you excited for the transition?
Yeah, I'm super excited for basketball, especially since it is getting colder, that I get to stay inside.
Right,
That's probably the best part. But yeah, our basketball teams are great, and being able to, I'll be more involved during basketball seasons, like many more promos that I'll be doing, and a lot more social media. Follow GVSU Lakers on Instagram, and
Absolutely.
that's where we're like doing promos and the kind of the behind the scenes look too. So that's exciting, and yeah, I'm excited for basketball. I think a lot of people. It's always a good atmosphere, whether you're at Lubbers or whether you're at the field house. So I'm excited.
And you said GV actually has 3 basketball games this week, so are you ready for a first hectic week to get started?
Yes, 3 basketball games. So tomorrow's our first one, so I definitely think people should go to that. And I'm excited. It's definitely hard because I have a script memorized too. So for three scripts memorized this week, so I'm ready for it.
Well, sounds like you are. Thank you so much for your time this week, and
Thank
it's
you.
a pleasure talking to you. We'll move on to the rest of the country now. There were several top 25 matchups in college football over the weekend. Miami steamrolled Notre Dame to cement their spot as a legitimate playoff contender, winning 41-8. Number 1 ranked Georgia fell to the Auburn Tigers, getting blown out 40-17. Finally, in the Big Ten, Ohio State reestablished itself as the top team in the Big Ten East, handing Michigan State a 48-3 win.
Down this sideline, it is caught by Ben Victor for the Ohio State.
The NFL had another busy weekend as well. The Detroit Lions won their second straight, beating the winless Cleveland Browns 38-24 at home. In a matchup between the last 2 Super Bowl winners, the New England Patriots blew out the Denver Broncos, rolling to a 41-16 victory. Finally, the Atlanta Falcons cruised past the Dallas Cowboys, winning 27-7. An emotional moment took place during yesterday's 49ers game. Niners wideout Marquise Goodwin broke down after catching a touchdown against the New York Giants. Goodwin was playing just hours after learning of the death of his baby boy. Goodwin was able to help the Niners earn their first win of the season. In other NFL news, GQ named former Niners quarterback Colin Kaepernick as its Citizen of the Year. Kaepernick gained national attention in 2016 after his protests against police brutality spread throughout the NFL. Now, it's going back to those Detroit Lions we mentioned before. They got their second straight win, going to 5-4 now. They beat the Cleveland Browns, but a game that, definitely had Lions fans on the edge of their seat. They were down 10-0 early. They were then trailing again, 24-17 the third quarter against a team that, hadn't won a game all season.
Right.
Do you think that this Lions team is a playoff team? They're 5-4 in that easy NFC North. What do you think going ahead?
I think they have the potential to be a playoff team. Like you said, they're an up-and-down team right now. I was actually in attendance for the game yesterday, and I've never seen the stadium more quiet than it was when the Browns went up 10-0, as they've never had a 10-point lead at all this season, and they're the Cleveland Browns. So, but the next 2 games we can recover from that. We play at Chicago against Mitchell Trubisky. He's not a very good quarterback. And then on Thanksgiving Day, if we can beat the Vikings, who are 7-2 now, we can just get right back on a rolling. So that's what I think.
Yeah, and that Viking team is the only team with a winning record that the Lions play the rest of the season. The rest of their games are against teams with losing records. You could easily see the Lions come out of the season with an 11-5 record, maybe even 12-4 if they can beat those Vikings on Thanksgiving Day at home as well, where they have struggled a little bit. But against that Vikings team, we've already seen them beat them once. See if they can do it again. But I like what the Lions are doing offensively. They've done better the last 2 weeks, and if the defense can do better at stopping the run, which they didn't do against the Browns, they're a team that's definitely going to be a force to reckon with in the NFC.
Consistency. It's all about consistency. As long as we get consistent, we're going to be okay. We'll go to the hardwood now. The Boston Celtics won their 12th straight on Sunday, holding off the Toronto Raptors to win 95-94. Celtics did so without the help of Kyrie Irving, who was sidelined with concussion symptoms. Detroit Pistons won their 5th straight, erasing a double-digit deficit against the Miami Heat to win 112-103. Rookie Luke Kennard scored a career-high 14 points. Finally, James Harden and the Rockets beat the Indiana Pacers 118-95, pushing their win streak to 16.
That's going to be a wrap for us tonight. We'll be back next week with more. Until then, I'm Paul McPherson.
And for the rest of the After the Whistle crew, I'm Kellen Voss. All game, all season, always on After the Whistle.